Hello there, it's time for our math lesson today. It's lesson 121 from 4th grade math, and you'll find it on pages 223 and 224 of your work text. So if you look at page 223, we're going to look at how to multiply multiples of 10. You've been working very diligently memorizing your math facts, and they're going to come in really handy today and for the next several days as we go through this chapter. So hopefully you've done a good job at memorizing them, and this will just be a breeze for you. So you've multiplied your basic math facts, but what about a problem like 30 times 50? On the top of your page you'll see a picture, and that picture is showing you 30 rows of 50 square units. That could take an awful long time to draw. So you're probably not going to want to use that technique to figure out the answers to this kind of problem, but it is a useful way of thinking about it. Another way to think of 30 times 50 would be 3 tens times 5 tens. And that's true, but maybe not real helpful unless we think about it in this way. We're going to find the non-zero digits. So if we're looking at 30 times 50, the digits that are not zero are 3 and 5. And you know what 3 times 5 is, right? 3 times 5 is 15. So there we have part of our answer, but we're not done yet. The next step is to annex the zeros. If we're multiplying a tens number by a tens number, it's going to be a hundreds number. And that's the case with 30 times 50. Both of those are multiples of 10. How many zeros do you see in the original problem? Well, there's 1 in the 30 and there's 1 in the 50. That's 2. So we're going to take the answer that we got when we multiplied the non-zero digits 3 and 5, and we're going to add 2 zeros at the end. So 30 times 50 is 15 with 2 zeros at the end, or 1,500. Check that comma also. Remember, the comma goes between the 1,000 place and the 100s place. And you'll need to remember that comma in a number of your answers today. So, let's start practicing. We're going to use our brains to solve these, and not a lot of scratching on the paper except to write our answer. So, number 1, 13 times 10. Let's follow those steps. The non-zero digits are 13 and 1. Remember the rule that we learned, a couple months ago. If 1 is a factor, the product will be the other factor. So if you're multiplying 13 times 1, the product would be 13. So write down 13, but we're not finished. We need to annex the zeros. How many zeros do you see in that original problem? Only 1. So put 1 0 after the 13 and write your answer. Let's try number 2. 77 times 10. Again, we have the non-zero digits 77 times 1. If 1 is a factor, the product will be the other factor. So 77. There's 1 0, so you'll put a 0 after that, and that would be your answer. Write it down. And let's try number 3. 48 times 10. 48 times 1. Annex the 0. Write your answer. Okay, number 4 gets a little bit more challenging. 50 times 50. What are the non-zero digits? 5 times 5. You know what that one is, right? But how many zeros do we see? Well, there's a 0 in the 50, the first 50, and there's a 0 in the second 50. That's 2 zeros. So after you write down the product of 5 and 5, then you need to put 2 zeros after it. Don't forget your comma. And let's try number 5. 30 times 60. You have the non-zero digits 3 times 6. And then how many zeros do you see? Write your answer. And let's try number 6. 40 times 40. You know what 4 times 4 is, right? Write it down. How many zeros? I see 2 zeros. So put your 2 zeros after that. Remember your comma. And let's go on to number 7. 90 times 60. Oh, 9 times 6. 9 times 6. What's 9 times 6? Write it down. How many zeros? Get your zeros in there. All right, let's try number 8. 20 times 70. 2 times 7. Annex your zeros. Write your answer. And let's go on to number 9. 90 times 40. 9 times 4. 9 times 4 is, write it down. And annex your zeros. Put your comma in there. And you're ready to go to number 10. 30 times 30. Oh, 3 times 3. That's an easy one. Write it down. Annex your zeros. How many are there? 1 in the first 30, 1 in the second 30. Got it, right? Number 11. 70 times 40. 7 times 4. Those are your non-zero digits. Multiply them together. Annex your zeros. Number 12. 80 times 20. Write your answer. And then let's go on to number 13. 84 times 100. Oh, this one looks a little different than the ones we've done. Let's check it out. What are the non-zero digits? 84 times 1. If 1 is a factor, the product will be the other factor. So 84. How many zeros? Well, there aren't any in 84, but there are 2 in 100, so we still have to put 2 zeros after our 84. And the comma needs to go between the 8 and the 4. Got it? Number 14. 20 times 200. This one looks similar to the one we just did. The non-zero digits are 2 and 2. You know what 2 times 2 is. But how many zeros do we have? Let's count them. There's 1 in the 20 and 2 in the 200. That's a total of 3. So after your 4, you'll need to put 3 zeros. And don't forget the comma. Do you remember where it goes? Put it in there. And we'll go on to number 15. 63 times 100. Multiply your non-zero digits. Annex your zeros. Write it down. Add your comma. And let's move to number 16. 43 times 1,000. These are getting bigger. But 43 times 1 is really simple because anytime 1 is a factor, the product is always the other factor. So write that down. There are no zeros in 43, but there are 3 in 1,000, so you have 3 zeros to annex, and you will have the correct answer. Just 2 more to go. Number 17, 50 times 1,000. You can do this. Write it down. And number 18, 18 times 1,000. Multiply the non-zero digits and then annex your zeros. Okay. So let's check your work. What we're going to do is we're going to go back through all of those problems again. And I want you to see if you got the same answer that I got. And if you did, that's great. If your answer was different, what I want you to do is just circle the number of the problem. And then later I want you to go back and I want you to look at it again and try again. come back and look at the video and see if you got the right answer the second time. If you still have trouble, give me a call and we'll talk about it. Okay? So let's go. Number 1, 13 times 10. 13 times 1 is 13. Annex the 1 0 that we see there, and we get 130. Number 2, 77 times 10. 77 times 1 is 77. Annex 1 0, you get 770. Number 3, 48 times 10. 48 times 1 is 48. Annex the 1 0, you get 480. 50 times 50. 5 times 5 is 25. I see 2 zeros, so I added them at the end. Get 2,500. You see where I put the comma? Between the 1,000ths place and the hundredths place. Number 5. 30 times 60, 1,800. Number 6, 40 times 40, 1,600. Number 7, 90 times 60, 5,400. Number 8, 20 times 70, 1,400. Number 9, 90 times 4, 3,600. Number 10, 30 times 30 is 900. Number 11, 70 times 40, 2,800. Number 12, 80 times 20, 1,600. Number 13, 84 times 100, 8,400. Number 14, 20 times 200 is equal to 4,000. Number 15, 63 times 100 is equal to 6,300. Number 16, 43 times 1,000 is 43,000. How are you doing? 2 more to go. 50 times 1,000 is 50,000. The last one, 18 times 1,000 is 18,000. All right. So that's pretty simple, I think. And you're going to practice some more like this on the back side of your page. But we have some word problems we want to look at before we do that. So let's do that. Number 19. Gavin set out 60 cups for the open house reception. Mario set out 20 fewer cups than Gavin. How many did they both set out? Well, it looks to me like we have to solve one part of the problem before we can get the final part of the problem. So, we know that Gavin set out 60 cups. That's pretty simple. It comes right straight from the problem. We know that Mario set out 20 fewer cups. Well, fewer means he set out less cups than Gavin, and we know how many fewer? 20. So 60 minus 20 would be 40 cups. So now we know that Gavin set out 60 cups, Mario set out 40 cups, and we want to know how many cups did they set out altogether? Well, together they set out 60 plus 40 cups, or that would be 100. So our first equation to solve this problem, we had to say 60 cups minus 20 cups is 40 cups. That's how many Mario set out. And then we had to say 60 cups that Gavin set out plus the 40 cups that Mario set out would be equal to 100 cups. Got it? All right, well, let's go on then to number 20. Abigail and Maya are sending coloring books to some orphanages. They have 600 books. The books will be sent in 6 boxes. How many books will be in each box? Well, we have to figure out what operation we're going to use. We know the total number, and we know the number of sets. So it looks like we're going to have to use division to solve this problem. The total number of books was 600, and we know that they're going to be put into 6 sets or 6 boxes. So if we say 600 divided by 6 boxes, that means there will be 100 books in each box. And there's our answer. Pretty simple, huh? One more problem to look at today is number 21. Some 4th grade boys were asked to set up some chairs for a program. They will make 10 rows of chairs with 20 chairs in each row. How many chairs will the boys need? This time we don't have the total number. They're asking us to find it. Now, most of the time when a word problem asks for a total number, we're going to have to multiply or add. In this case, this problem sounds a lot like the arrays that we set up when we're trying to figure out a math fact. So I'm thinking that multiplication is going to be the best operation to use for this problem. So we know the number of rows, that's 10, and we know how many are in each row, that's 20. We don't know the total, but if we multiply them together, 10 rows times 20 chairs in each row, that means the boys are going to need a total of 200 chairs. This word problem uses the skill that we practiced earlier today because we have 10 times 20. You see we take the non-zero digits 1 times 2, which is 2, and we annex the zeros, 1 0 from the 10, 1 0 from the 20, and that gives us 200 chairs. That's our answer. Now, Tag, you're it. It's your turn. If you turn over your page, you have some problems like we did earlier. You're going to have to multiply the non-zero digit in your head, right? You can do this. Count the number of zeros, annex them to the end, and write the answer on your paper. There are also 13 word problems for you to do. Not 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 word problems for you to finish. There's a green box on the right-hand side of your page, and I don't think they've ever done this before, so I just want to help you figure out what that's all about. There are 6 equations in that green box. 5 of them will be the right equations for the word problems that you're solving. So they're kind of helping you figure out what operations that you have available to you when you're solving those problems. So use that green box to give you some ideas if you get stuck on how to solve those word problems. I'll give you one more clue. None of them are two-step problems like we did together on the first side. Okay, you got this? I think it was pretty easy. So if you have any questions, you can call me. Don't forget that you can pause this video if I'm talking too fast and you need to look at something again. You can also rewind it. You can go back and watch it again one more time if you need to. So take advantage of that and good luck. I think it's going to go really well for you today. See you later, alligator.